Welcome to TylerMedeirosTV. For those of you that are new, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss it when I upload. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the strangest last meal requests on death row. Now, for those of you who may not know what death row is, also known as condemned row, let me explain. In some states and countries around the world, they still have the death sentence in place, which means the judge allows the jury the option of a death penalty, where the convicted criminal will be executed, or an option of life in prison. Death row is the place in prison that houses inmates awaiting their execution date. Now, many places no longer have the death sentence in place, but many places still do. As of 2020, there is a total of 53 countries that still have the death penalty in effect, which can be death by hanging, shooting, lethal injection, beheading, or electrocution. There is also 25 states in the United States that still implement the death sentence to this day. Now, one thing that you may not know is that in many places, a day or two before the execution of the inmate is granted a last meal. Now, there's places where they just give you the usual prison food, but in many places, you're granted pretty much whatever you desire, of course, with some restrictions. The person we're going to be talking about today is a man named Lawrence Russell Brewer, born March 13th, 1967, and he would be the reason Texas stopped offering a last meal before executions. Lawrence was someone who was in and out of prison throughout his life for many different things. It would be on June 7th of 1998, Lawrence would commit a crime which would ultimately result in him being executed. Lawrence would be a passenger in a truck with two other men and take part in a horrific murder. At 1:30 a.m., Lawrence and the two men were driving in Jasper, Texas, when they stopped and offered a person of color a ride. The man had just left the party and was walking alone. The man decided to get into the truck with Lawrence and the two other men. At that point, they drove to a country road just outside of Jasper, Texas. The men were hanging out, having a smoke, when the three men decided to attack the man they had picked up. They began beating up the man and then decided to tie his feet with chains. They then attached the chain to the back of the truck and began to drive down the road with the man tied to the truck. The man was dragged behind the truck until he was eventually decapitated. The three men would leave the man's body on the road, where officials would find him the next day. It's said that one of the men had slit his throat before dragging him behind the truck. Lawrence would go on to admit that he took part in the murder, but denied he participated in the dragging of the man behind the truck. He would even go as far as saying that he tried to stop the dragging from happening. On the 20th of September 1999, Lawrence would be found guilty of the murder, and on the 23rd, he would be sentenced to death. This killing would go on to be a main reason that a national movement would begin of strengthening the punishment of crimes that are motivated by hate. It was on September 21st of 2011, Lawrence would be executed by lethal injection at 6:21 p.m. Before his execution, Lawrence was granted a last meal, which consisted of 2 chicken fried steaks, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger, fried okra, a pound of barbecue, 3 fajitas, a meat lover's pizza, a pint of ice cream, and a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts. Lawrence didn't even take a single bite and told officials he was not hungry. Now I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments, and if you had to choose one last meal, what would your choice be? But I'm going to go ahead and close out today's video here. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, give it a nice big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys continuously give me. It means the world to me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.